Dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, absolutely.
Yum. Want some? A treat? Wasn't me. Ah, jeez. Funny boy. Come on, this is your favourite. I'm just trying to make friends with Pete because in a moment he's going to have his medication, and then after that I'm going to be looking at taking him back to the sanctuary. So this sweet corn is his favourite food, but God, I tell you what, he is a handful. He's just all power. To hold him like this, it feels like I'm holding on to
He's all
one
power.
big muscle. I'll try again. Ah, there you go. Yum, 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 yum. That's it. Look at that. That's good. That's good. Look at it. He's eating it like a beaver, chewing through wood. Here. Oh, yum. Yum.
With a good snack of sweet corn in his belly, it's time.
He's so angry.
It's like that. It's like that. The chimpanzee with the banana, or the baboon with the banana.
It's an orangutan.
Is it orangutan?
Yeah, it's an orangutan. I put it in the video for whatever fucking episode it was.
Yeah. Okay, so two things. One, when I was a child, I wanted to be an orangutan so bad that, like, at daycare,
You grew your limbs to the length of an orangutan.
So at daycare, when we'd like play house, you know, at daycare, because it's like a million little kids. So like, someone's like, I'm gonna be the mom, and then alpha kid's like, I'm gonna be the dad. Go outside, whatever. Oof. I would be like, I'm gonna be the orangutan, and everyone was like, boo, this kid's insane. Yeah. So that was me when a child. Okay, so
the only memory that I have of like the whole playing house thing, my neighbors, we would play house all the time because they were all girls and we were all boys. Yeah. And I don't know if I was dad or what, but somehow we came to let's fill Chris's sweatpants with sand. And they filled my pants up with sand and I tied a knot so that it wouldn't like come spilling out of the top. Yeah. I think I stuffed my pants into my socks or something.
Okay.
And I was walking around with sand pants. And then it's all fun. But then that night I like jumped and I slept on the top bunk and fell out off of the top bunk because an ant bit my nutsack. Probably because
it's sand pants on.
Sand pants.
Dude, that's such a funny. I'm just thinking about like that as an infomercial that plays at like 3 a.m. for people who can't travel. Can't make it to the beach this week? Bring the beach with you with sand pants. There's just a guy sitting at his desk. His pants are like bulged out to here, but he's got a nice little area to make a sand castle in his pants. Doug, what are you doing?
God, we could film that sketch.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck, that's funny.
And then the super fast voice at the end and like all the disclaimers. May increase risk for getting your nutsack bit by an ant. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so started watching Scrubs, right?
Yeah.
Love it. It is fantastic. It's so good. Dr. Cox is amazing. So he might be the best character in any show I've ever seen.
You'd never seen it before?
No, never.
Oh.
I'd seen like, when they were doing reruns on Comedy Central.
Oh, yeah.
Like I would see that before something else would come on. You know, like the very end of an episode, or like I'd be switching through channels because like I'm pretty sure Comedy Central was like the channel before or right after Cartoon Network because they're both Viacom, So I think like in the channel list they were like right there.
I think you're right.
So actually that might not be entirely true. When I was growing up, I think Comedy Central was 50 and Cartoon Network's 47, but I don't know. Doesn't matter.
It's true.
Okay, so anyway, started watching Scrubs and I fucking love it. I had been getting recommendations to watch Scrubs from like a million people forever. And I just never, all the people that I was getting it recommended to me from were people that like, if I had taken their recommendation on something else, it was always some dog shit thing that I hated. So I never watched Scrubs Because I was like, oh, this person told me to watch Scrubs. I fucking do not trust this person, so I'm not going to watch Scrubs. And then it turns out it's awesome.
Dude, we are
What's that
fucking
in your
JT
life?
and Turkleton. JD. Why did I say
Who's
JT?
am I Turk?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm Turk. Except I'm not black.
Because you got that big old dick.
Yeah.
And I'm always saying oddly Jewish things.
That's funny. But what have you had that before? Have you had that moment where you're like, oh, I was wrong. This is actually great.
Oh, yeah. Bunch of times.
With what?
This is such a stupid one, but have you heard of iZombie?
Is it a movie?
No.
It's a show.
It's a TV show. Fucking the lead singer from Matchbox 20. What's his goddamn name?
Thomas.
Rob Thomas.
It is a Rob.
It is a Rob.
Also, it's Mac.
But yeah, so he wrote a graphic novel for iZombie.
Rob Thomas did.
And then they turned it into a TV show. And it's so fucking stupid. It's stupid. But at the same time, fucking hilarious. Or like Lucifer.
Like it's trying to be funny or it's not funny. And
No, it is funny. And then it becomes endearing. Like it's one of those, it's a sneak attack. Like at first you're like, what a dumb fucking premise. But you have 3 solid ass actors in it.
Okay.
Like there's a bunch of dog shit ones, but the main like villain is like a anti-hero almost, where like he's bad but sometimes he's good.
That's how I felt about The Boys. Like the guy who plays like the main badass, you know? I forget what his name is.
Right.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's awesome.
He's
Love
the
him.
fucking best.
Love the like, you know, definitely me if I was in a superhero show character that's like terrified of everything.
Your girlfriend gets smashed to bits.
God, I hope not. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
By the way, you know who that is in The Boys? Like who that actually is as a person?
No.
I think it's Dennis Quaid's kid.
No.
Yeah, 100%. I'm pretty sure Meg Ryan is his mom.
Really?
Swear to God.
Wow.
Yep. He is Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's son.
That is insane.
Which is hilarious to me because Dennis Quaid.
Jack Quaid.
Yep. Bingo.
Wow.
Look at that pull.
But dude, so back to Scrubs though. So how far into it are you?
So I think if I'm correct, I'm like episode 1 of season 2.
Okay.
Episode 3 maybe.
Season 4, there's this big turning point in the comedic writing that is just so tasty.
Oh, it gets better?
Oh my God.
Because like I love it now. I think it's hilarious now.
Yeah.
And
well, they started letting some of the actors write and direct some of the shows. So like
that's good.
That cast loved their characters so much.
Of course they did.
That like it becomes this beautiful fucking thing. And then you know where I'm going with this, Mara?
It gets bad.
Because they got railroaded by the fucking Screen Actors Guild going on strike. So all of the writers, if you were a union, had to go on strike with the union. So
no.
Yeah. So what was supposed to be the final season is like just not great.
I think that was like 2007. I think that all went down, or early 2007.
Yeah, something like that.
So it's a bummer of an ending.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's excellent.
I mean, the final episode is great. They tried to do some other shit afterwards.
Okay.
But like, I think that's season 7.
Yeah, because it started in 2001.
I thought there was like 12 seasons.
No, I think there's 9.
Yeah, but there's a spin-off, and then there's another
on
season.
Hulu, there's like, I'll have to look. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but on Hulu, it's got all of maybe 9 seasons.
Oh, maybe.
So a couple of those are basically dead to us.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Okay.
You're just not going to want to watch them.
Yeah.
It'll be a bummer.
But season 4,
Okay.
Dr. Cox, my favorite scene out of all of the episodes, he wants new computers for the nursing station.
Okay.
And they're like, they're not going to adjust the budget for us to get computers. And he's like, well, obviously this one's broken. And they're like, what? And then it cuts to...
Sorry, girls. Dropped my computer. You know.
And then zips back in. God damn it, so
he's
funny.
So funny in that show. The way he talks to JD and Turk. Well, really everyone, but like the boys in particular is so fucking awesome. It's like he's. I love that JD has those like cutscenes where like Dr. Cox is his dad. You know, he's like when Turk like takes JD's patient.
Oh yeah.
The fucking. Oh, who is that guy? He's in a lot of stuff, but he plays like it's the guy who like JD is like got him locked into internal medicine, and then he has to get he has to get a surgeon in front of the guy to be like, okay, here are your other options, because Dr. Cox is like, oh, why did you not tell him it's surgery? So then he has Turk come in, and Turk like totally, like, you know, takes him out from underneath him.
Yep.
And then when JD goes to like complain to Dr. Cox about it, and then he's like, Dr. Cox, and then it cuts, and it's him like wearing little kids' clothes, and he jumps onto Dr. Cox's lap, and he's like, "Who's my big boy?" Oh God, I love it. It's such a good show. It's so good.
So many good moments.
We also have Caitlin and I've been watching Community, which I
know. See, that's one that I refuse to watch. People keep telling me to watch it.
Here we go. The other one that I was going to bring up today was one that, like, you know, where I was like, I don't know, like the people have recommended this to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty fucking great.
Yeah, I love Dan Harmon. He's like one of my Mount Rushmore fucking writers. He's such a dark son of a bitch. Everything he writes is him reaching out to people to try to normalize the way that he is as a human being. And that to me is so goddamn deep. And so all of these dark moments in like Rick and Morty and in his Harmontown and all of these things, he's just so clearly like he's on the spectrum. He's an alcoholic, and he like always derails his relationships. He's always fucking up his relationships, whether they're friendships, romantic. Like, I just love that guy so much.
He does a great job with Community, and you can feel him missing. Obviously, it was for a good reason. He did some bad stuff, but then he got his redemption tour back, you know, to come back. But those I would say the first 4 seasons, save for like 3 or 4 episodes, are some of the funniest TV I've ever seen. So like they do a Goodfellas episode, that's like full blown Goodfellas, where like Abed.
I've never actually watched that movie.
Holy fuck, Christopher. It is so good.
Well, I don't know why I came here tonight.
Dude, the opening scene in Goodfellas is...
Right? That's Goodfellas, isn't it?
I think that's Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I've seen that one.
That's also a great movie. That's with all the colors.
Sick. Yeah, maybe I just cut all of that out.
Yeah,
maybe it'll come up organically later. Maybe it won't.
It won't. It for sure won't. There's no way it can now because you already brought it up, and it was already way better this way. So, good try. Woo. So,
I got shock mounts are coming, so that doesn't happen anymore.
The dong noise doesn't happen. That's awesome.
Sometimes it's funny, but a lot of times it's just fucking annoying.
I'm sure it is. So, the Goodfellas episode, or the movie Goodfellas, first of all, is phenomenal. It basically follows so Henry is like a non-Italian, I think he's half Italian in the show. Yeah, he's half Italian, like son of immigrants that they live in New York, and he sees like across the street his whole youth Paulie, who's like the leader of the local mafia family or whatever, like living the greatest life ever, you know. He's like constantly got like women, and there's like always stuff happening there.
Is Goodfellas the one with the Chantix guy?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
What's up? I'm Ray Liotta for fucking Chantix. But so then like it just follows like Henry becoming basically like I don't want to say the right-hand man, but like he builds up like his own like little crew inside Paulie's gang. And his life just fucking spirals. Basically like he finds cocaine and it's all over, baby. But it's really good.
Have I ever told you my my aunt's story about the mafia in the 70s?
No.
Yeah, she lived in Brooklyn, and the mafia, once drugs started getting introduced, there was like a rift because mafiosos wanted to do racketeering and like no drug shit.
Yeah, because that was more traceable.
And her friend started dealing. They found out. They cemented him in his car and then pushed it into the Hudson River.
That's horrifying.
The funny thing is, like, when she was telling me that story, she was like smiling about it.
Yeah, so they poured cement in his car and then they just kind of sent it careening off a bridge.
Yeah. She's the best, though.
That's wild.
I know.
That's fucking
I was like
diabolical.
I was like, the movies, that shit, I didn't think that shit actually happened.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's
I don't know why I said it.
So
Like
fucking
I don't
bonkers.
actually know. But Goodfellas is actually sort of loosely based on a true story.
Really?
Yeah, because like the big heist they pull that like makes a name for Henry, and I mean De Niro's in it. He plays Jimmy, who's like he's Irish, but he's like part of the gang anyway because he's a badass and he's this fucking psycho. He just kills everybody. And then like Joe Pesci's character, who is like the only full Italian, so like he's the only one who can become a made guy. It's like those three like run their own like syndicate inside the syndicate basically. So they're like run this huge job basically to rob this plane that's coming in from Europe, and they take all this money, and it's like the most money that's ever been stolen at one time in the United States history. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Is that right?
What?
Okay.
Sorry, I was like, I wanted to show you a picture that kind of like tied a couple of things together.
No, you're good. So okay, so I'm fairly certain that up until that time, it was the largest. It was the largest robbery on U.S. soil.
Wow.
I'm pretty confident, and that actually happened. So like Henry exists. He's a real guy.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like Blow.
Yeah.
Largest cash robbery?
Yeah, it might be that. At the time, it's not still.
Oh.
I don't think. I think at the time it was.
Okay.
And I believe it was in the 70s, maybe the 80s.
70s were fucking insane.
Yeah. Yep. I watched this documentary series a long time ago called The 70s, actually. But it was like made by CNN, CNN Films or whatever. So they did like a 60s, a 70s, an 80s,
Oh,
a
yeah.
90s. You
I
know
know
what
what you're talking about.
Yeah. So the 70s
Tom
one,
Hanks is in it a bunch.
he's in the later stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does the narrating for the 2000s one, I think. The 70s one. So the 60s one is crazy because of its own, like, there was so many insane fucking things that happened in the 60s, you know, like from like in entertainment, you know, like with Woodstock to serial killers.
Yeah.
Because that was a thing, to cults, and like I'm pretty sure Manson started in like 69.
Yeah.
Cuz then the 70s, like the first episode is called like Crimes and Cults or something.
Yeah.
And it basically follows like all the serial killers of the 70s.
Yeah.
But anyway, the other thing they talk about in the 70s series, there's like a full episode about terrorism. At home and abroad, they call it. Terrorism at home and abroad. So the terrorism at home thing, and this is like from the mouth of somebody who was in the movement. So this lady who was like in the Weather Underground, which are the people who bombed the fucking Capitol building in the 70s. Like literally put a pipe bomb in the Capitol building, like blew up a wing of the Capitol. I don't think they killed anyone. I don't think the Weather Underground actually ever killed anyone that they were intending, because they didn't want to kill anyone. They just wanted to cause destruction, you know? So anyway, so this lady in this interview seems like the sweetest lady ever. Like she's wearing a puffy scarf. She's got like the grandma haircut, you know? Just looks like a sweet, sweet woman. She goes, the 60s were all about love and, you know, peace. And because nothing happened, the 70s were just kind of about anger.
Interesting.
And you're like, what? And then she's like, yeah, we just wanted to take everything down. You're like, you're way too nice to be saying this. But there were a ton of, like, I don't know what you would call them.
Well, there was
domestic terror groups.
Yeah, yep. Like, what the fuck am I looking for? Marxism?
Yeah, I mean, Marxists.
Because who was that person that all these little sects emulated? There's posters of him.
It was like Che Guevara. Is that who you mean?
Maybe. It's usually like a red poster and the dude with the beard.
Yeah, he's right.
Okay. Yeah.
Che Guevara?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, he was a revolutionary, or what would you call him?
Yep. That's the guy.
Yeah, that's Che Guevara. Cuban? Is he in Cuba? Yeah. So, like, he's a murderer.
Yep.
At large scales.
Sure.
He looks really cool with this cigar, though.
Yeah, he's a bad guy. Really bad guy. I don't know why people idolize him. They're like, dude, Che Guevara was sick. And you're like, actually, bad guy, but all right. So, like, the problem with, like, back then with the terrorist groups, I guess, other than them being terrorist groups, obviously, was, like, there were so many different groups, and their causes were, like, sort of aligned, but they were all separate from each other. So there was, like, the Weather Underground, like I already mentioned, who, the reason they got, like, famous to begin with was because they were, like, building bombs in this New York City home, and one of their bombs, like, malfunctioned and blew up.
That's right.
And it was right next to Dustin Hoffman's house. And that's why they got famous.
Yeah.
Because Dustin Hoffman lived there. And that was it.
They've recreated that scenario in so many movies.
But then there was, like, could you look up the people who kidnapped Patty Hearst?
Yeah.
Because they were, like, a completely mismanaged group of morons. And they happened to pull off a kidnapping of the century. And that was, like...
That's the lady that turned coat and, like, ended up being on their side, right? Yeah.
They, like, got her on video, like, walking into a bank with, like, an M16, and they were like, whoa. What were they called?
Symbionese Liberation Army.
Yeah, so they were the Symbionese or Simeonese?
Symbionese.
Yeah. So, like, people, like, were trying to...
San Francisco or San Diego?
I don't know. San Francisco sounds right, though, because that's where, what's his fucking name? William Randolph Hearst.
Oh, yeah.
The newspaper tycoon who was her grandfather. That's where he was from. But these Symbionese people would, like, you know, people were, like, looking up, like, what does this mean? And they're like, oh, it doesn't mean anything. We just thought it sounded cool. Or the SLA. What? You know what I mean? Like, it's just...
Yeah, they're out of their minds.
This little history episode we got going on right now.
Yeah, man.
This is fun.
Their logo doesn't make any sense.
I know, isn't
me.
it like a snake?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's like a 7-headed snake or something.
Just looks like a doodle, like random.
Yeah.
You know what it looks like to me? It looks like somebody was sitting down and they had diarrhea. They were sitting down, they exploded on the back of the toilet, and then the rest of the poop inside the bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way you say that. Wow, insightful.
That's not diarrhea. That's like an impressive length with no cut on it. That's a good amount
I'm just
of fiber.
saying, like, the opening shot was like boom, and then it was like
so we open straight on the anus.
Oh man.
Tight cut, pan over to testicles. Back to the Oh man. How do you feel about me going to get a Diet Coke real quick?
I mean, I feel the same about it if you wouldn't go grab a Diet Coke.
Me too.
Okay. You want one?
Yeah.
Could you, am I allowed to drink any of those, or are those still decorations? You're a real piece of shit, Chris. Do you have any caffeinated stuff with little sugar in it? Thank you, Kevin. Kevin!
Did you ever see that NBA clip where...
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Kevin Garnett blocking the guy 3 times. And
No.
Shit out of here?
Where the reporters or anchors, sports anchors, whatever, are talking about something, and you can hear some guy screaming, "Kevin!" Like just like the mom.
Oh, that's really funny.
Fucking hilarious.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell the story about when Kevin Garnett on TNT. It was a live broadcast on TNT. It was I believe it was Nuggets versus Celtics, because I think Kenneth Faried was on the Nuggets at the time. So Kenneth Faried, who was a small forward, I do believe, goes up to hit a layup against the Celtics. And Kevin Garnett is the big man on the Celtics. And Kevin Garnett, notoriously, insane blocker.
Yeah.
Right? So he goes up and just swats Kenneth Faried the first time around, right? Swats him. Goes, can't get the rebound. So as he's coming down, this is live on TNT. As he's coming down, he fumbles the ball, and somebody on Denver gets the ball back. And you hear like very clearly on the TNT broadcast, Kevin Garnett go, damn it! And then and then Kenneth Faried goes back up for another layup, and Kevin Garnett like swats him again, like blocks him a second time in like 2 seconds, and he's like, "Give me that shit!" and then the ball comes back down, and then Kevin Garnett swats him a third time, and this time swats it out of play, and yells, "Shit out of here, N-word."
It's the first result when you have their names here at the same time.
Play it through your mind.
You pass without looking. Driving Kevin crazy right now. Shit out of here, nigga.
Damn it. Give me that shit. Shit out of here. So we used to just, like, when we were watching, like, intramural basketball at NDSU, Nat would just be like, damn it. Like, somebody would get a block. Damn it.
That's great. When are we going to talk about our impending doom?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Have you not been depressed all week? I've been depressed all fucking week.
Well, yeah.
Same.
Yeah, but not really right now. I'm
You
super
don't want to do
happy
it
right
now? Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we can talk about it for sure. What I'm saying is, getting to hang out with you guys has been very pleasant.
It is nice.
It's so nice. Like, you've been enjoying things, and like it's like rubbing off on me. I'm like, oh, like I'm enjoying it by proxy.
Oh,
because
that makes me happy.
I engaged in some like mental self-harm. I watched the RNC.
Oh no.
I listened to this album that YouTube recommended me. It simulates what it's like to get dementia.
Oh,
It's
God.
Sad.
It's 6.5 hours long.
Why would you listen to that?
I don't know. That's what I did.
Here's a tip from this big-brained fella. Anytime a robot recommends you do something, don't do it.
It actually recommended a review of the album, and then when I was watching the review of the album, I got pulled into the album.
Was it the guy with the glasses?
No.
His shaved head? You know who I'm fucking talking about?
I thought you were talking. Hey, dude. Guy with the glasses?
No, dude. I'm also a guy with glasses. We're all people with
fucking
glasses.
Loser with glasses. What you are. Jesus Christ.
I thought you were going to drop like Matt Pinfield or something. But
that who
that's
that
like
guy
a
is?
20-some-odd-year-old reference.
He's a YouTube guy, and he reviews.
Anthony Fantano. I love him, by the way.
Fucking hate him.
He's a comrade.
He did a dog shit review of an album that I love.
He's going to poop on things you like.
Yeah.
But he's also going to poop on Tom McDonald, and that's going to be funny, too.
I'd pay money to poop on Tom McDonald.
When I heard Tom McDonald, I thought you meant Tom Arnold. Like, that's who it registered in my brain. And I was like, Tom Arnold?
Yeah, you're supposed to pee on.
Why is
pee on
anyone
Tom
talking
Arnold.
about Tom Arnold?
Yeah, why is he relevant?
Roseanne's
That guy
former
is-
husband? That's insane.
He is out of his mind. I like that Vice was
Loves
like,
cocaine.
Vice was like, you know what? We like the direction you're going in. We're going to give this a shot. And then you can just see it deteriorate. And like they start including more of the crew in these things.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, no, Tom, that's not true. That's.
And he's like, but we should start a business. And you're like, okay, he's up on the blococaine.
yeah, it's really funny.
Blue.
He's out of his mind.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, so we had, the week was spicy. Pretty spicy week.
Yeah. Are you reading it off of your hand?
No, I rubbed my leg and like I pulled hairs out of my leg because my
okay.
legs are so fucking hairy. They're hairier than your legs, and you got some hairy ass legs.
I do have some hairy ass
What's going on
legs.
with those socks?
Chewbacca.
Is that what's going on, Tupac? Hell yeah.
It's Chewbacca, but he's got like the blue bandana and it says Thug Life on his stomach. My mom bought him for me. She's like, 'cause you like Star Wars and Tupac. I was like, Mom, You're fucking awesome. Love ya.
That is, wow.
Yeah, this was the first pair of like very, very funny goofy socks that I got. And she just hasn't slowed the train down at all. Oh, I love She's crushing it. I forgot to mention this. Remember my crap my pants story?
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you I was wearing a pair of underwear my mom got me for Christmas that has Bob Ross on it. It says no mistakes, just happy accidents. So the underwear that I shit my pants in said just happy accidents on it. Okay. So, spicy week.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, Jim Gaffigan has a joke.
About shitting his pants?
No, about spicy. Because he's like talking about, like, you lie to your kids all the time.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
When you tell your kids not to lie, you're lying. Because, like, you lie to your kids.
I know what you're talking about.
The way he, like, the first lie he tells is like, you wouldn't like any of this ice cream. It's very spicy.
It's a good idea.
It is. So, yeah, spicy week. Not sweet.
Yeah.
Not super fun. Mental health wise, I personally have actually been, I don't want to say better, but very
manageable,
very indifferent for me this week because all the shit's been going on. Mine has been all external this week.
Okay.
So like I've been having to be supportive, you know, check in on family, do things that like normally I don't do with such urgency. So it's like demanding that I kind of set my own shit aside for a while, which is for me it's always that's a really helpful way to decompress. Because then I don't have to actively be like, how am I going to take care of this? You know?
Yeah.
My fucking soul hurts right now, and I don't know how to deal with it. If you just help people deal with their own souls, sometimes that...
Yeah, sometimes.
You know, sometimes that makes a difference.
Yeah.
I can't speak
Well, it's like Mara was saying, like, you enjoying things rubs off onto her. That concept...
I'll rub off onto you.
Yeah,
if you
rub
want.
off onto me, please. So I'm in like a weird headspace, and then this morning, you do or don't watch King and the Sting. That's Brendan Schaub and Theo.
I used to.
Do you know who Thomas Dale is?
Why does the name ring a bell?
He's a comic.
Okay.
But he's also a like self-proclaimed clairvoyant.
Oh. Owie.
Yeah. He's been on a bunch of people's podcasts. He did Ari Shaffir's This Isn't Happening. You know what I'm talking about?
Ari put him on?
But not as a clairvoyant, like just...
Oh,
he
just
had
as a comic.
Yeah, he had a wild-ass story.
Is this your boy?
That's the guy. That's the boy. He gets confused with Todd Glass all the time. Anyways.
I can see why.
So he's talking about...
Good for Todd Glass for getting confused with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So he says he's clairvoyant, yeah. Empath. He calls himself a Haruka empath, which is a Native American thing. Which
don't like that. I could tell you this: if you're not literally a tribesman, if you're not going home to stay on the reservation because that's where your family lives, you're not Native American.
No.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So what is that? Cultural appropriation?
Yeah. To the nth power.
So he says all this stuff, and he's a funny dude, but he said something that like turned my morning into what felt like a week, because he said he is a Haruka empath because he is bipolar, and people with bipolar disorder are better empaths. So they're like more prone to be clairvoyant. And to a sane, here's the thing. So because I have my I like objective truths.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's very you.
So I heard his thing and I went, oh shit, we are crazy. Well,
go ahead.
Because hearing him say that was like, so I wonder if like all mediums and clairvoyant people are bipolar, because bipolar and like codependency stuff is this feeling of like you have something to offer that nobody else has. And I've always in the back of my mind thought that, like in the way that I connect with people. Okay. Like I'm able to do it in this way that most people aren't able to like get others out of their shell the way that I can do.
I think that's true. I think that's objectively true.
But the thing that my brain did was like, the reason why is not, it's not because I have something special about me. My chemical imbalance throws a wrench in the machine of a normal conversation and turns it into this weird thing where somebody else has to adapt to the weird shit that I'm saying. And because I appear well-intentioned, it opens them up. You get what I'm saying?
I get it, but...
Like, think about how I fuck with you guys.
Yeah, but I don't mean to discount the angle you're taking on this. But you have an extremely biased angle to begin with. Because you're seeing the world only through your eyes, right? Where you're at in discovering yourself, you're also taking that self-discovery as an opportunity to like reflect on things that you believed to be true in the past.
Sure.
And so those beliefs, especially when you're in self-discovery mode and you're not doing so well, mental health-wise, emotionally, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Those memories or those truths are very vulnerable to being manipulated in that moment. And so...
Well, the thing is so I Googled, like, I just put it basic, just bipolar clairvoyant. And there were articles that played out kind of how I myself, and I feel like a lot of other people who have like manic tendencies, rather than recognizing something as a coincidence, like when I'm listening to a song and I say we should get out of here, and then in the song they say we should get out of here, and you're like, whoa, that was a wild moment, but that definitely means we should get out of here. So like that kind of thing happens to people, and they then start to
like extrapolate that.
Yeah, misconstrue that into this, like, all of these other things have a deeper meaning rather than it's just a coincidence. So in my life, I would have these really, 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 really intense struggles where like nobody understood so much to the point to where, like, I remember ripping my room apart one time because I knew that I had this like deeper connection to like the universe, basically. And nobody wanted to believe me. And because I couldn't convey these really intense feelings, I just lashed out and like literally destroyed my room and laid there, and then had like delusions where like I was seeing and this is another weird thing. Like, I've always thought that I had a connection with the brother that was born before me who passed away from SIDS. And I, for some reason, thought that I was unique in these ways that I could have connections to like otherworldly things, these external things that nobody else could understand. And after searching and like looking into these things, it's really just, and it's not that it's a negative thing, but it's very common. Like, you think about like A Beautiful Mind, like myself and the like bipolar community are this close to being schizophrenic. So these delusions of grandeur are these like things where we're like, oh, we have a connection with the universe, or like I can feel like a presence here and it's speaking to me in this way. And like, even if they're not calling themselves clairvoyants or whatever. Oh, you need some slack.
Yeah. So I don't mean to cut you off.
No,
if
go
there's
ahead.
more you want to put onto that. So first of all, and that sounded so confrontational the way I said that. I don't mean it to be. I feel like there's some confirmation bias going on here, where like you saw similarity in someone else's story, and they shared something about themselves that you could relate to. So then you like took that blip and you popped it into Google, which is built to return exactly what you're looking up. You know?
Sure.
So like immediately you're getting that confirmation of, oh, so like I'm right about the way I'm feeling about this, or this connection that I feel like I've made.
It's more of a deconstructing thing, because the way since I got out of treatment, I've been like analyzing why I do things a certain way and why I feel so passionately about certain things, so that I can do better the next go around. Mm-hmm. Because even though I'm an atheist and like I like science all the way, like I don't believe in that shit, but I've always had this like sneaky feeling in the back of my mind that like I am connected to something in some way. Like when I was growing up, I was you remember, did I tell you about when I did carpentry with my uncle?
Yeah.
And he was like, "You're so bad, go skateboard."
Yeah.
That house had these carvings in this tree, and I touched the tree, felt something super dark, looked at the house, and there was this door that was open. And I started walking towards it, and my uncle goes, "We're not allowed to go in there." And I was like, oh my God, something horrible happened here, and it's connected to whoever carved their initials in this tree. So I did shit like that all my life. And it would happen all the time where like I was at a lady's house, we're looking at a job, and for some reason was drawn to this piano. I go over. I'm not good at piano, but I just kind of was finding melodies and doing things. And I could hear the lady talking to my uncle in the next room, and she stopped and she came in, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry, I didn't mean." And she was like, No. Nobody's played that piano since my husband passed away. It means the world to me that you're playing the piano right now. What made you want to do that? Do you know how to play? I was like, I don't know. I just, for some reason, was drawn to it. And so like shit like that happening throughout my life. And that's two examples. It happens all the fucking time. So to find out, like it's like a bittersweet thing to go, this is what I want, is to actually be like, because that causes so much anxiety to live a life like that, to think that there's like these like otherworldly like hand
you've got
and
powers.
Shit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I've always wanted that to not be true, but I've always thought it in the back of my head. So to find out that
it's a symptom.
It's mostly a symptom of what I've got going on. And so it's like, okay, I can now let go of a bunch of shit. But at the same time, that it felt so unique, so it like hurt a lot.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Dude, I get it.
So I was like on the verge of tears like all morning, being like,
I'm on the verge of tears right now. I get it, dude.
Hurt a lot.
Do you want a hug?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'd give you a hug right now. Dude.
It just like,
well, I don't want you to feel like when the truth hits you in the face like that it immediately invalidates all the other exceptional qualities that make you.
Yeah.
You know? Part of that being how you reacted to learning that is also speaking to the amazing qualities that you have. It speaks to like your ability to truly empathize with people. And then the other thing is like that, like deep rooted in your fucking soul is this desire to be good. You know? And you learning that today doesn't take that away from you. It's just now it's like now you have the clarity to be able to like manifest that feeling in a way that you know is like tangible for everyone. You know? It's like you don't have to rely on what you thought maybe was the truth and then you've found out is not the truth as like your avenue or like your medium by which to connect deeply with people that you care about, or people that you don't care about, but you know they care about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like if you found out from that woman, if you were playing piano, right? You walked in there, you were just drawn to the piano. Maybe something in you was just like, God, I haven't played piano in fucking forever.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful piano. I'm not fucking doing anything right now.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm just going to play some piano. You know, you find out from the woman that, like, this meant the world to her. It's like that moment still exists.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just not driven by the thing that you think exactly it was driven by.
What's the word I'm looking for? I keep thinking like celestial, but that's not exactly
paranormal.
Yeah, paranormal.
Yeah, I mean, it would be like getting on a plane, right? And you know the pilots are standing there right when you get on the plane, right? And like you get on the plane and like there's one pilot there, and he's like, "Hey everyone," you know, and then you're like, "Thank you, sir. Please don't kill us," you know. And then you like get on the plane, and then when you're getting off the plane, there's like a different guy there, and you're like, "You're not the same guy." And he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm the actual pilot. The other guy in the beginning, he was the co-pilot. But like, I actually got us here." And you're like, "Oh, all right. Well, okay. Like, we got where I was going anyway. So thanks for not killing us. That was great." And then you get off the plane. It's like the destination never changed.
Right.
The journey was the exact same. It's just like something else got you there.
Yeah.
You know? So like, don't throw away all those good feelings that you have or all those great memories that you have. It's just like maybe you run them through a different filter.
Yeah.
You
well,
know,
it's that like it is narcissistic in a way because I thought this, like, even though I'm like a humble individual and I want people to feel like I sincerely don't ever want anyone to think that I feel above them. But because I had this thing in the back of my head, it always made me feel different.
I don't know that it's narcissistic though.
But it's narcissistic in a way because I'm thinking that I have something that you don't.
No, but that wouldn't necessarily be narcissistic. That'd be without thinking. This doesn't sound better. But it's not the same. I can't think of the right. It would be more of like an elitism sort of style.
Okay.
Thinking, right? So it's like you're not putting yourself in front of people, like in your needs in front of the others,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
Which is what narcissism is.
Okay.
You're putting your wants in front of other people's needs, you know? And like you didn't ask for this.
Right.
You know? You just want to be understood.
Yeah.
Which is a very different thing than putting yourself in front of everybody else.
It makes me wish that
it's not elitism though, because you don't actively think like, "Oh, I'm better than all these people."
Yeah.
Which is the definition.
It was
you know
more
what I'm
like
saying?
I have like a surprise. And you know what I mean? Like,
got a surprise for you. It's my fucking dick. Anyway, go ahead.
But like the way that like I just have this way of being able to get people to open up and to tell really quickly if they're going to be closed off to something or not, and figuring out the way to get to them so they understand where I'm coming from. So I've always had this thing.
That's just exceptional interpersonal communication skills. That's what that is. That's what you have. You have that. That's why we connect so well. That's why you and Caitlin connect so well.
But the thing is I wish I could go back to my younger self because I struggled so much. Like the big anxiety attacks that I would have were part into the fact that I couldn't get people to understand this like mysticism that I had that enabled me to connect with these, getting people to like connect these coincidences.
Do you think maybe
to
part
me.
of it was because you had all these older brothers that were cool, and you just
they
wanted
were
to be
not cool?
I know, but like, but the way you look at them, you know, I mean, you liked them, didn't you?
No. Well, my younger brother, the one below me, we connected 10 times more than I ever even tried with my older brothers. I would try to get them to laugh, but like I knew they were dorks and jocks, and we just weren't the same. So I never felt like I want to be able to do.
I want to be them.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so maybe that's not the right person though. But like maybe there was just a piece of you that wanted validation and to be unique, and this was like as a child, the avenue that you found
So it's part
was unique about you because nobody else had been talking about like this was their thing.
So it's part my nature and it's part nurture too. Because when I was really little, I somehow found out about my brother that passed away, right, Michael. And I would like tell my mom things about Michael. And when we first went to his gravesite in Idaho, I was the only one crying because I just felt so deeply about this place. And so my parents kind of, and it's not their fault,
but
they played into this, like me being able to make these really deep connections and like do things that the other boys weren't doing. And then throughout life, like I would just be able to do these coincidences that would make people think how like
that kind of answers the relationship with the brothers thing that I was trying to draw though. It's like, again, here's a confirmation bias, is I was looking for something to make my theory. Not that I'm a fucking psychiatrist and have any, but what I was trying to, it's like your identity, you know, obviously was very tightly to this one little tiny minute thing that you kept so close to your chest, you know?
Oh, sure.
Right? And something had to plant that seed. And it sounds like it was planted in part by your parents and in part by you, but in part by your parents at a time that you didn't have control over your own identity, you know? And so like they had shaped the identities of all the people around you because they were your parents.
Yeah.
And so like the seed that they planted for you was that you had this special gift. So it's hard to like have that taken away.
Yeah.
Because like that's been a part of what you understood to be true about you your entire life.
Yeah.
You
so
know?
it feels like I tricked a bunch of people because all throughout my life I would do these things that would like make people think something like magical was happening. Like I used to do this thing called scripture flip. So Mormon missionaries would come over. And even though I wasn't like going to church or anything like that, I would do this thing called scripture flip, and I would throw it up in the air, catch it, point my finger at a paragraph, read it, and everyone would like be blown away by whatever it was that got read and how it applied to somebody's actual week that happened. And like there was shit like, so fucking coincidences that moved people in a way that they would then talk to me like, there is something very unique about you and you have a connection to these things that other people don't. And so, yeah,
but that's not on you though. That's what I'm trying to show you.
Okay.
That's not you, or that's not on you. That's not your fault. Your actions in those moments were not out of attempting to exploit people for their feelings. You were playing into the hand that they were dealing you, and you wanted them to, in a way, it was selflessness that drove you to do these things. Because it was like you wanted them to get the answers they were looking for, right?
Sure.
And so you would do these things kind of based on their request, kind of based on the way you had read the room, and like, oh, something needs to help cheer these people up. So I'm going to do this thing, and it's going to hopefully inspire some confidence or some peace or whatever for the people that I care about. And so those people were drawn to telling you those things because you had a positive impact on them. But they sold it to you in a way that kind of framed the way you thought about those moments as more than just you being a good guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like all scripture is meant to inspire and connect. The whole fucking book is written that way.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be able to point to any fucking part of the book except Revelations and be like, oh, this talks about today. Yeah. Although, based on the circumstances right now, Revelation's a little bit more relevant. Anyway.
Yeah.
I would say, like, that's not on you. You know what I mean? Like, the only thing that's on you, the only thing that you're truly guilty of in all of this is just wanting to connect more deeply with people and be kind to them. And that's true, and you can't take that away from yourself. Because that's what I hear in all of these stories. It's just you wanting to connect more deeply with the people you care about.
It's a scary thing too, because I wonder if like cult leaders are bipolar themselves, or no, I'm saying like
sociopaths. They're not bipolar.
They're not mutually exclusive though. Like the one thing could bleed into the other, because with these types of feelings, conviction comes. Like you think about, I don't know if you know anybody who is bipolar, but like when you get into arguments with them, they are very intense. And that's part of like why I always say, does that make sense? Because I want you to know
exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and because in the back of my head, if you understand, then you'll kind of sway more to my way of thinking. So that's where I feel like the narcissist part of it is.
Okay.
Is because it's a scary thing to think like I literally changed certain people's lives based on the way that I acted. Like there's people that I converted to Mormonism and I'm not fucking Mormon. And I hate that religion so much. And I did this thing that like, that's these people's lives. And I gave them like a lie. So
But are they living a horrible life?
I don't know.
No, I think that's more of a what's the kind of question that you ask that doesn't need an answer?
Rhetorical?
Yeah,
that is a rhetorical question.
Okay.
Free will is the most powerful thing. That's what makes human beings human beings.
But when you are able to, like, you know my intentions all the time. Like I never sway from like how I feel about people and all of those things.
Yeah.
So when you interact with somebody like that, I feel like you lean more towards trusting them because you've seen them with their conviction and their intentions and all of these things.
Yeah, but conviction isn't
inherently a bad thing. I get that.
At all. Conviction, what I was going to say is conviction isn't what makes...
well, I'm saying when you have conviction in like the paranormal and you think, hey, I need you to know that this deep thing that I feel is going to change your life and that's why I'm doing this thing. It's not that I'm intentionally trying to fuck up somebody's life, but like when I have that, when you have that framework, you can lead people in.
But
like,
the antithesis of conviction would be insecurity, right?
Okay.
Right? Just like lies are the antithesis of truth.
Okay. I got you.
You see what I'm saying? What makes a cult leader, and what makes I guess call them like a con artist in that realm.
Yeah.
What makes
charlatan?
There we are. Look at you.
I love that word.
Yeah. So what makes a cult leader, what makes a charlatan, is their intention of preying upon insecurity using conviction.
Okay, yeah.
And you are missing that key ingredient.
But that's the scary thing is, I've always said, like, I'm on the verge of being an other thing. What could have happened that would have made me
Stop thinking about what could have, though. That's the thing. It's so hard to do because right now you're in a time of deep reflection. So you want to play out the scenario in every possible way.
Yeah.
But the truth is that's not what happened because it's not who you are. See what I'm saying?
I do.
You could have been that, but you're not that. So you didn't do that. That key ingredient, the predator style of thinking, is not how you operate.
Yeah.
You are, and I hate to say this in such a weird way, you are prey, Chris. You prey. Okay?
Soy boy.
So if a guy's running around in the apocalypse times and he's scooping up boys to turn into his little fuck club, Chris is going to be one of the boys in the fuck club.
That's true.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. What I'm saying is you don't have predatory instincts.
I gotcha.
What you have is very much berry-picking instincts because you just want to get along with everybody.
Yeah.
If given the choice to pick up a basket or a spear, you're picking up a basket.
Have you ever...
Because you could flip the basket over, you could sit on it, and now it's a chair.
Have you ever almost crashed a bike?
I have done both crashing and almost
But you know
crashing.
that feeling where you like
Yeah, that feeling?
That feeling is what, like, I, like, looking back on my life, I'm like, I can't believe I was this close to being that other thing.
I get that, but it's going to be really hard for you to escape that sort of feeling that you've got. But I guess the best way I could tell you is, like, the reason you're not that is because you're not that. The reason that didn't happen is because that switch doesn't exist on your switchboard.
Yeah.
Because predatory nature is, I would say, far more, it's a dominant trait. It's not a passive trait.
I'm not barred from that, though, because romantically, I was a nightmare. I sabotaged so many relationships because I convinced girls, I would say I love you so fucking fast. Because I was like, this deep feeling, I feel it, it's for you.
That's not predatory.
But
that's insecurity. That's seeking validation. Oh, I have this feeling, and the only way that I can feel valid about this is for the other person to say this about me too.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
It's not, you're not being a predator.
All of that to say...
That would be like, okay, so predatory relationship-wise is the guy who fucks people who don't want to fuck him. It's called rape.
What? I believe it's pronounced rape.
It's a long A. It's rape.
Rape.
Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah, so it's just, that was my fucking morning, was going...
It's hard. Especially because you're alone and you're at work and you fucking hate your job. So you're just full-blown cyclone spiraling.
Yeah,
That's
it was
tough.
bad.
That's tough.
I texted Kim and I was like, I'm freaking out, man.
Kim texted me. She was like,
really?
hey, just, want to let you know, Chris is having a little bit of a bummer today, and why don't you look out more? And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. But also, I hope this chat has helped you feel a little better, or at least kind of brought some clarity.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's that bittersweet thing to go. Like I have been saying it since I got out.
You wanted a show on A&E.
I wanted a show on A&E. I want to be little people, big planet. What is that?
Little penis, big brain.
The show is Little People, Big World.
There it is.
I watched a lot.
That was
of it.
pretty close.
Oh, I was thinking more like
what if all of the
Staten
characters
Island Medium or whatever the fuck.
What if all of the characters on Captain Planet were little people?
Captain Planet?
I think
he's our hero.
Do you not know Earth, Wind, Fire? What? You don't know Captain Planet?
No.
That's Theo Von.
Yeah.
Wait, is that real?
No. I mean, Mara will pull up a picture and blow your fucking mind, but
we really needed this part of the show, by the way. Mara, you are...
Yeah, you're the best.
Yeah.
Also fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So you see that?
Oh, yeah.
I just saw Theo Von today, and as soon as you said that, I was
He's
like,
right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Actually, if you haven't, so obviously you have not. If you haven't, watch the episode with the Riff Raff on Theo Von's podcast.
I've seen it.
It's one of the best episodes of
really
any
is.
podcast ever, because
I can't believe they didn't start a
to kind of
come
full circle here, right? Back with the Theo Von podcast, but different one, sort of, but
sure,
sort of same full circle. That switch didn't exist in Theo Von, so it didn't happen. Riff Raff is Theo Von. The only difference is there was that switch in Riff Raff that was, I'm going to be an obnoxious white rapper.
Do you know the tale? I know his brother. Riff Raff.
Riff Raff's brother? Like, you know him as a human being?
Victor Simko.
Wait, Riff Raff is Eastern European?
Yeah, his brother was almost a pro snowboarder. Insanely good. So fucking talented. So we knew about Riff Raff before he blew up. And it was a joke. Riff Raff was doing that shit to make fun of rap. And then got so engulfed in it that he became the guy. But
That's
so
amazing.
many people called him out or like tried to call him out initially.
So this is what I was thinking that whole time.
Oh.
Has anyone seen Heathcliff? I'm
No.
sorry.
No.
I couldn't get it out of my brain. I'm just like, what are we talking about?
Riff Raff is a white rapper. I got a buddy
Yeah, we talking about Heathcliff.
who this isn't his real name, but this is what we call him because this is how we talk to our friends in this little group. Everybody's got their own ridiculous name. They call me D-Train. That's where D-Train came from. Like Nat is Big Cat. Jerry, that's not actually his name. His name's Jared, but we call him Jerry because he hated Jerry, so we just called him Jerry. And then he became Larry-O, or Jerry-O first, because of the whole Barack Obama, the early years video that came out with Key and Peele, and he's like, never sleep on Barry-O. So we started calling him Jerry-O. And then he became Larry-O. And then The Hobbit came out, the movie, The Hobbit. Mm-hmm. And there's Thorin Oakenshield. So we started calling Jerry Larry Oakenshield. And then he became Larry Oak. And then he became Ticket Oak. And then he became Ticket Oakenshield. So, like, he's got 70 nicknames. There's another guy in the group. I'm not going to actually name his name because...
What are we talking about?
Well, I'll get there. So, we call him Brian...
I love the etymology of this nickname.
Yeah. So, we call him Brian Christ.
I love it.
Yeah. So, part of it is because he had really long hair. Part of it is whatever. Anyway, he looked exactly like Riff Raff. And he was Riff Raff for a Halloween party. And people thought, because they were all hammered, that Riff Raff was at the party. And I watched like a couple girls be like, "Oh my God, is that Riff Raff? Are you tiptoeing in your Jordans?" He's like, "Yeah."
That's awesome. I love that.
Was this what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's Riff Raff.
That's Riff Raff.
Okey-doke.
He also looks exactly like Josh Donaldson, who plays for the Twins, which is like very weird. It's crazy that you know Riff Raff.
Well, I don't know him. I know his brother.
I was going to say, you should have him. You should bring him on the show.
I know his brother.
Do you know his brother well enough to get Riff Raff on the show?
Probably not. Because he got annoyed. He got annoyed, obviously, super quick. Once he did blow up, then everybody was like, you gotta, what the fuck? We have to be able to meet him now.
Oh, so like is Riff Raff the real guy? Is as a real person? Is he like a big douche now?
Yeah. He like I said, he literally was doing it as a joke, and then because it was making him famous, he just kept doing it, and so now he's that guy. The weird thing is like so
off camera, same guy. Or?
I was gonna say people have caught him acting not like his alter ego.
Yeah.
Like an Andy Kaufman situation.
Yeah.
I like it.
But
Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
It's another one of those.
Jim Carrey.
Dude,
did you watch that documentary about him being fucking Kaufman?
I didn't see that one.
Oh, he literally acted like Andy Kaufman for 6 months.
Yeah. He I mean, it was the most like in-depth method acting. I mean, you hear about like Jared Leto as the Joker, like sending people. None of that would have happened had it not been acceptable for Jim Carrey to literally be Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
And then when he was
that's so meta.
Who was Andy Kaufman's alter ego?
Oh. Ah, shit.
So it was like Andy Kaufman was Andy Kaufman when he was on stage, and then he had that other guy that he like his character.
Yeah, that was
Tony Clifton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on days that he was shooting as Tony, he became Tony Clifton. And like before he had the Tony Clifton makeup on, he literally would be like driving around, like drunk driving around the studio park, and like wearing a paper bag over his head and like talking like Tony Clifton because he didn't have his makeup on yet.
So that movie's better than
Man
the
on
movie
the
they were
Moon.
making. That is really interesting.
Yeah. So Man on the Moon is not good.
Nope.
But
he did, though, shot for shot remake that when Andy Kaufman does is it Mighty Mouse? Here I come to save the day.
Yeah.
He literally did it shot for shot. Like it's timed out exactly the same.
Each beat.
Yeah.
Beat for beat. Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Is, yep.
So he's that's one of the saddest. That little part of that interview where Jim Carrey's like, when they're like for the documentary, they're kind of talking to him like, "What are you doing, man? Like, why'd you do this?" And he's like, "I didn't really want to be Jim Carrey, so
yeah,
I just became." So, but he's talking to them as Andy Kaufman, saying this. So he's like, they're like, can we talk to Jim? And he's like, Jim's not here right now. But, like, I'll talk to him for you, I guess. And they're like, all right, like, we just really want to see Jim. We haven't seen Jim in a while.
Yeah.
He's like, Jim doesn't really want to be here right now. And they're like, why? And he's like, Jim, I don't know. He just doesn't really like being Jim so much. And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
You're the most famous comedian in the world right now.
Yeah.
And you fucking hate yourself. That's hard to hear. But it says a lot, you know? Anyway, should we do some brought to you bys to kind of put some air back in this balloon?
Yeah.
Hey, should we do a little... You don't have to if you don't want to.
Did you say you want a kiss?
No, can we hug, though? Can I give you a
You
hug?
want a hug?
Yeah. Come over here and give Papa a hug. Is this, what's his name? Okay. So this is like the industry's follow-up to the Care Bears?
To the Care Bears. Yeah.
That's what this is?
Yeah, actually, good point.
They,
because like my version of Captain Planet is Barney.
Well, they wanted people to care about, like...
the Earth.
Yeah, the Earth. And so
Captain Planet.
they were like, well, how do we do it? And so they made Captain
Well, that's
Planet.
what the Care Bears were like. They wanted people to empathize, be kind, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The one of them on the show is even heart. Like,
yeah.
Their power is the heart.
Yeah.
Right. Then there's Captain Planet. Then I had Barney. I can't think of what came before Barney for me, though. I think it was just like Barney was my
I think
thing.
Sesame Street was like the only game in town.
Yeah.
Blue's
Sesame
Clues.
Street and then Barney. Blue's Clues was like my brother's age.
Okay.
But like I was never I mean I was a Barney guy. Kid. Barney guy. It's like 25 like yeah, shut the fuck up guys, Barney's on. No, but I was more of a Rugrats. Rugrats was my show when I was a wee lad.
Did I sing you my Barney song?
Clean up.
No. Mara, I know you haven't heard it. I wanted Landon to wash his hands, which is perfect for the climate right now. So this is the Germs version of the I Love You song.
Okay.
I hate you, you hate me, I fuck up your whole body. I'll make you feel sick and sometimes shit your pants. Why don't you just wash your hands?
That's a great song, Chris.
It would have been relevant like 30 years ago.
Relevant fucking right now.
Yeah.
Well done.
I caught my brother like watching Barney, like, and he had the door locked because he was like too old for that show.
Oh, I thought maybe he had the door locked because he was
That Triceratops.
because he was exploring himself.
He didn't lock the door for that kind of stuff.
Oh.
Yikes. I can't tell if you're helping or hurting, but please don't leave.
I'm almost done.
Oh, fuck. You got the Stein of Truth?
The Stein of Truth.
I should get some googly eyes for the Stein. The blind. We could call it the blind. The blind.
I think there's only a few today, but
Yeah, there's only a couple. Write some fucking brought to you bys and send them in, god damn it.
yeah, we really need some. It's not that we're getting tired of writing them, but newsflash.
They're hard.
They're not easy.
When we're having a rough fucking week, it's hard to get all silly Billy and make these goddamn things.
Plus, how am I supposed to write one and then not have an expectation set for how it's going to go?
Yeah.
That's for the people that listen, if you're worried that we're going to be like, "Oh, that was stupid."
Oh,
I wrote diarrhea down 2 weeks ago. Like, it doesn't get dumber than that. We have reached the bottom of the barrel.
yeah.
I got fucking rug burn from the bottom of the barrel.
I'm wearing Crocs and rolled up sweatpants. You guys are going to be just fine.
We're all good here, folks. Okay. This episode of Dude Absolutely is brought to you by Pleather Daddies. offering the most voluminous variety of vivacious vegan vests. No bull. Use coupon code FOPAPA at checkout.
Faux Papa. I like that.
Who wrote that one?
That's me.
Oh, that's a good one. Plus, it kind of felt like you were trying to get me to fuck that up.
Yes, that was actually my intention.
Yeah, and I think I managed to do okay. There was voluminous was. I wanted to say voluptuous, but that wasn't right.
I spent like 10 minutes on a
That was well done.
thesaurus
Well
to
done.
try and get that alliteration.
That was good.
I'm going to fuck this up. I know it. Because I want to say that the line. This episode of Dude Absolutely is brought to you by the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. 1, 3, 2, fuck! Is that what it is? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I love that.
Yeah, he goes like 1, 2, 5, threesa, 3.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's what he does.
I love that voice, dude.
Pull the pin, count to 3, and yeah, he can't count to 3.
But there's like a whole like list like he should not
This one's
count
so
to
dumb.
proceed to 4.
Oh, yeah,
3
yeah,
is
yeah.
the number.
This episode of Dude Absolutely is brought to you by the Ginsu blade. Remember that fucking weird blade on TV? It's back, baby. Pennies are now worth nothing, so cut yours up, melt them down, and sell them back to the government. I don't know. That's so dumb. Do you know the government spends, I think it's $13 million every year making pennies?
Yeah, it's insane. It's been going on for decades. We've been losing money making pennies.
The amount of pennies they mint every year is about $8 million in pennies. So we're losing $5 million a year on pennies.
This episode of Dude Absolutely is brought to you by Bob's Butt Plug Emporium. If it's not on our shelves, it's in ourselves.
That's so good. Oh,
Thank you. It's one of my favorite things to say. I started doing it like 7 years ago, just to my brother-in-law.
that's fucking genius. Well done.
Thanks.
If it's not in our shelves, it's in ourselves. See,
Hey,
that's the
could
British.
you guys go back and check if you have any of these in stock? I know we have it in stock. Instead of, you know, like at Target, they have
Yeah.
the box where the receipts go. They have a box where they drop their butt plugs and go. Do you have your own tote bag? You can save 5 cents.
Do you have any toilet paper? That's the British voice I can do. I don't even know if I can replicate it right in this moment. But like you do the snooty British voice.
Yeah.
Mine is the why do they bring these dirty peasants around here?
The one where it's almost like they're from Connecticut, but it's British. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's kind of like Game of Thrones-y.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Mark, we were talking about British accents before we started recording.
it's like
You got any Brit?
the guy who's
I was like trying to think.
Roose Bolton? Roose Bolton in Game of Thrones. He's the
Ramsay.
guy who... Well, Ramsay's his kid.
Oh.
Roose is the one who goes, Lady Sansa. And you're like, she's 15. You're scary. But he's the one who created Ramsay Bolton. Ramsay Bolton is... After Bitch Boy dies, he becomes new Bitch Boy.
I've not watched a single episode of Game of
Holy
Thrones.
fuck. Watch it. It's great. Why did I say it like that?
I'm not a fan of...
Don't do it.
Have you seen the South Park bit, though, with the Game of Thrones theme song? Chris.
I'm not a big fan of rapier and incest.
Yeah, those are kind of two big tags. in the show.
Those who have
right out of the gate.
That's not like the substance of the show, though.
But you gotta get through that stuff to watch the show, and I don't want to
You
fucking
don't
do that.
actively watch any rapes, I don't think, in the show. There's a lot of very uncomfortable moments where you're like, you shouldn't be doing that. But the really touching stuff in the show is so worth it.
Do you think so? Even the last season? Even like the last 2 or 3 seasons?
I gotta tell you, when John falls in love, when he's like banished north of the wall and he falls in love, it's one of the greatest moments.
Yeah, but you're talking about when the show was good.
Yeah.
But see, eventually you're going to want to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because of the way the show is set up. It's not like...
I didn't think it was as...
I could stop watching Scrubs at season 7 and be fine with it.
Yes.
But Game of Thrones, you're going to want to continue watching.
I know everyone hated the ending so much and it was so bad. I didn't think it was that bad. I think people just love to be totally outraged with how things are.
Sure.
Was it my favorite ending to a show ever? Absolutely not.
I just especially that last season, it just felt so empty.
Well, it was so rushed. They just like you
That's
could
what
tell
yeah.
you could tell
I'm not gonna say like it ruined my life.
Yeah.
But I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know that I'd want to rewatch it. I don't know that I'd want to rewatch it unless I got through season 6 and was like,
yeah, it's hard to like, because it's such a drastic drop. I think in quality
they
too.
change the way you view the very pivotal characters.
Yeah, it's so
much, you've done this the whole show. Why are you doing it again? But anyway,
it falls apart. Like the people that the producers.
I want to hear your British accent. Describe this in a British accent. Do it.
I don't just have a line that I can say.
It's like me doing accents.
Yeah, I'm so bad at like. But usually I don't use the accent unless I'm like talking to the dog.
Is it right? So like every time I try to do British accent, it turns into Australian.
That's New Zealand.
More so New Zealand, right?
Yeah, because I'm getting Concord.
See, but like everyone has their like niche version of an accent that works for them.
I think the only time I can do kind of a real steady British accent is when I try to do it like this, you know.
Yeah, I only say like one, like so the dog will be barking because they want to go out or whatever. I'm just like, you what, mate? You what? I swear on me, mum. And then that's about it. Like that's all I got. Or like, yeah, that's.
But we do the deal, like, you know, kind of this kind of guy. I went to the
Eastern
grocery store and I spent like $1.32, you know?
Oh, okay. So that's your northern or Scandinavian that like spent several summers abroad in Russia.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the only European accent I can even come close to doing is Russian. You cornholed yourself too.
Oh fuck! You know what we haven't talked about is the Batman trailer.
Oh yeah, I just redlined the fuck out of that,
dude.
So excited. Okay, super excited for what they're doing with the Riddler.
Yeah,
because the Riddler has been a little bitch boy forever. Not that I don't like that. I love Jim Carrey. What I'm saying is, every other Batman character is a fucking vicious, dark, angry manipulator, and the Riddler is like a silly fuckboy that Batman just has to deal with because he gets in the way of him solving his real problems. Like his whole intent was to show his
mental prowess.
Yeah, over Bruce Wayne or over the Batman. That's all he was there. He wasn't there to cause like, you know, horrifying tragedy for the world. He just wanted to, like, he just fucking hated the Batman.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like the Riddler in this trailer is going to be a real scary boy.
I love it.
I love that.
I think they're setting, so the way that they're doing this Batman, the reason why he didn't say, when the guy says, who the hell are you supposed to be? And he says, I'm Vengeance.
Yeah.
The reason why he didn't say I'm Batman, I think they're setting up. Have you heard of the Batman Who Laughs? Okay, so the multiverse, right? There's all different kinds of Batman. The Batman Who Laughs is about the Joker dies, and he had something attached to his heart that released Joker toxin, and it got into Bruce, and it was a very special kind, so it was very unique to when he dies, he's like, somebody else is going to be the fucking Joker. So he gets hit with this stuff. And his descent into madness and becoming basically,
That's intense.
It's
That's like Hellraiser.
He is the most, like, in my opinion, like the most evil character that DC has ever made. He's 10 times worse than the Joker because he has the intelligence of Batman. So he knows all of these things about the Justice League. So he dismantles every fucking superhero. So goddamn good. Definitely suggest reading that series. It's incredible. But they're set like the way that, and Batman normally when he incapacitates somebody, that's it. Robert Pattinson's version goes in for extra licks just because he fucking hates anything that resembles the individuals that killed his parents.
Okay, so that's a really different take than I had.
Oh. Well, it is supposed to be year 2 as well. So he's only been Batman for 1 year, and we're picking up in year 2 of him being Batman at all. That's what the movie's about.
Did you ever see Hellraiser? Woo! Like I looked up like the full image of the Batman Who Laughs. There's got to be inspiration here.
For sure.
So, wow. That kind of rocked my whole theory, though. But I still feel good about my theory.
Okay.
The League of Shadows arm of the Batman story is in every arm of the Batman story. In every single version, he went to the League of Shadows, got fucked over because he doesn't want to kill anyone, and Ra's al Ghul banishes him.
Yep.
All of them. I feel like we're getting post-Batman Begins Batman.
Okay.
But earlier in his own timeline.
Yeah.
Because Robert Pattinson is younger than the Christian Bale that was in Batman Begins.
Right.
Which is closer to how it would have been in the comic books.
Yes.
Because he leaves after school.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't leave after running Wayne Enterprises for like however the fuck long Bruce Wayne was.
Yep.
Until he was like, I can't do this anymore. And Jim Gordon looks younger.
And black.
Yeah, which he should be because Jim Gordon is black.
That guy's voice
is Jim Gordon.
I love it.
You know he's in Westworld. You should watch Westworld. It's a fucking great show.
Okay.
But, yeah, he plays, I think, is his name Leonard in Westworld? I don't know. But he's fucking awesome. He's going to be an insanely good Gordon.
Yeah.
Jim Gordon in several of the comics is black.
Oh, really?
I believe so. Anyway, he looks exactly how you would picture Jim Gordon. Like it's like this is Jim Gordon. Anyway, all that to say, Penguin is also the other villain, which speaks to how early in the timeline this is.
Yeah.
Which means it's pre-Joker. Because Penguin existed before the Joker did.
Right.
Because Penguin's far older than the Joker, and he was already the crime boss that...
Do you remember... Well, technically... So, what's his fucking name? Rainier?
Falcone?
Rapier?
Rapier.
The Joker's actual name. He was the Red Hood first.
The Joker?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So
I think that it's possible that, probably not in this movie, but the Red Hood is going to be alluded to, and then there will be a rebirth of the Joker in that way with Robert Pattinson.
I think Joaquin is going to enter this. I think that's why they did the Joker first.
I would lose my mind. But the thing
it's
is,
not the same director?
People have analyzed that and said that the timeline, it wouldn't work because Joker is in the 70s. And the guy who crashes into that funeral has an iPhone, so it's present day.
Okay. Fair.
But do you know the other theory about Jokers? So Jokers have existed for 100 years.
Oh, that like it's just they're just passing on the seed. So maybe that's what it is.
Well, eventually one of the Jokers finds Dionysium, And so that's what Ra's al Ghul.
That really throws my whole. Because my whole thing was like, I thought they did the Joker. I didn't realize the Joker was going to be an independent movie. Then that's what it is. It's
supposed to be
standalone.
Yep, exactly.
That's a bummer.
But it's not because they're going to do a second one.
Okay, because and that's where I thought, like, at the very end of the movie, The Joker, I was thinking that little, like, where he's running, where he gets out, I'm like, oh, this Robert Pattinson Batman is going to be tied directly to this. But obviously not.
Yeah.
But that was in my brain. I'm thinking, he's the perfect villain for Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Because the reason Heath Ledger's Joker was the exact perfect villain for Christian Bale's Batman is because their fucking listen to me voices had the exact same arc.
Sure.
When Joker does the, like, while he's filming the guy and he's like, look at me, and you're like, oh God, he's so scary. Yeah. Or he gets real close to the old man and he's like whispering, but it's like all deep voice. And it's the same as when Christian Bale talks as Batman.
Yeah.
So
I get what you mean. They complement each other.
Right. And the like Mark Hamill Joker and then the bad guy best Joker ever. It's not even close. Well, it is close. But animated wise, he's fucking fantastic. Did you ever, dude, you're a Batman guy. The first game you play for streaming?
Oh, Arkham Asylum?
Well, the Arkham games in general. So Arkham Asylum is the second one, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it is. Is it the first one?
I thought it was, because that's when...
Well, because I've played all of them.
Oh, okay.
Except I just don't know if I have the timeline right.
But at any rate, like, man, it's so...
I thought Arkham City was the first one.
Oh, that actually sounds...
I think that's what it says.
Yeah, I think you're
right. So it's like Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, then it's Arkham Knight.
Nope.
No,
it's Asylum City, Origins, Knight.
It is Asylum first?
Yeah. Okay, so Arkham Asylum, have you played that?
Mm-mm.
One of the greatest video games ever made.
That's what I've heard.
It's literally about... It's the Joker. The opening to that fucking game, Mark, can you pull up opening credits Arkham Asylum?
I thought that was the... What's the one where he goes against Scarecrow? Is that City?
Well, yes and no. I mean, he does in Arkham Asylum, too.
But there's one where Scarecrow is the main villain.
That might...
Because he kidnaps Batman and hooks all of the fear...
That might be Origins.
Oh.
Well, but he does that in Arkham Asylum, too.
Oh, he does?
So here's the beauty of Arkham Asylum, is as a Batman lover, which you're deeper into Batman than I am. I'm more into like Star Wars, and you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So that's like my realm. It sounds to me like your realm is like DC, big time.
DC and Marvel.
Yeah, so... as much as I love those things, just like you with, Star Wars, whatever, you get a taste of all of over the course of the first two games, Arkham City, first three games actually, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins. Over the course of those three games, you get a taste of every single major Batman villain over the course of the entire fucking time.
I love it.
So like, opening credits to...
Is there a spot you're thinking
Let me see.
of?
Dude.
How long is it? It's
10 minutes.
Did you see the trailer for the new DC game that's coming out? Where Batman dies? And then the Knights of Batman?
Oh, fuck yeah. That's going to be awesome.
They're introducing the Court of Owls.
2 hours later.
Okay, so we can probably pause it here because I don't want to give away like the intro to the game. The intro. I mean, there's still like 5 minutes left, I think. But that was basically... So what ends up happening in that game is Joker gets the entire band of everybody together inside the prison. So all of the locked up villains, like Kaz and Poison Ivy and Scarecrow, like you have like they're like mini boss fights against all of them, and that's like on your way to getting to Joker.
I love the concept of like he wants to lock him up, but knows full well that if he gets out, Arkham is set up to work against Batman. Like that concept is so wild because of the way that they created everything. All of those villains can use everything that's there against the system, which is terrifying. Being like, okay, this will all work as long as we get them in the cage before they have a chance to use all of the shit that we have.
Right. The thing that really makes this game, I think, so excellent, like it's not criminals in the streets of Arkham.
Okay.
It's all the people that Batman's put into prison. Yeah. Against Batman.
Fucking love it.
So like as the game goes on and like you get better, so do the fucking criminals.
Yeah.
And then it requires. The other thing that's really cool is that like it's a button sequence game. It's not like a full on free roam game like it is.
Oh, okay.
But like the fighting sequences, which have won so many awards, are just like if you tap like X and then wait the perfect amount of time and tap X again and then like triangle and then square and then triangle again. Like he'll do a particular thing. But like you can also just tap X a bunch of times. Mm-hmm. But you get these like where you get points for each like battle encounter thing and they like refill health and they do all kinds of stuff. But like you get combos. So it's kind of like Mortal Kombat in that way. Where like you get your combos.
Devil May Cry was a big one.
Oh, fucking love Devil May Cry.
Because I think I've seen the combat in this game, and it makes me think of
what's
Devil
his
May Cry.
name? Is it Damien?
Dante.
Wait, is it about like Dante's Inferno?
No.
Oh, I've never heard of Devil May Cry.
It's basically like I don't know how you would describe it. Like half Deadpool, half Batman, and a lot of anime like influences.
Okay.
And like it would be such a rad show.
Never seen that boy?
No, I have.
Okay.
For sure seen that.
And that he's actually changed quite a bit as the games have progressed. But like the first one came out in 2001, so it is like an older title on PS2. But it was like a huge deal.
Like revolutionary.
Yes, it looked insane.
It obviously influenced. I'd be willing to bet that the people who were behind the development of Devil May Cry maybe had some influence on the Arkham games then.
But yeah, like the combat in Devil May Cry is like there's a bunch of enemies and you can like combo them and like it counts it on the screen for you. Yep. Yeah, and it'll tell you like how
you take their souls too, right?
Yeah, after you kill them, like they give you little health bonuses.
Yeah, so in this you get bats.
There you go. So there.
It's awesome.
It's like when you knock the final person out, you just get all these bats. But dude, it's so fucking good. It's so good.
Do you think like the coronavirus is actually Batman's fault?
So have you read the books where he's like a fascist, like dictator or something?
Ooh, Batman?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah,
I've seen Superman when he's a fascist.
Okay.
Well, he is born in Russia. And
yeah,
he
we
wants
just got
to
that
make
movie
things
in.
better.
Yes. My name is
tries to
Clark Kent.
He tries to put the moves on, Diane. But she's like, whoa, hold up, buddy. I munch carpets, not cocks. And he's like, oh, good, because I fucking hate sex. So let's just be partners.
Do you like vodka? Because that is my love language. If you have Kharkov, we are in good shape.
It's really funny. Like, that little interaction where, like, he tries to kiss her. And she's like, I live on an island full of women, buddy. What do you think I prefer? And he seriously goes, oh, good. Then we can just talk politics and like just wants to be business guy all the fucking time.
This version of Superman asexual, so yes.
And
also my my Superman weapon of choice is not laser eyes.
What do you think about
throw a crowbar?
What do you think about the premise of like a comic book series where Batman is the reason that the coronavirus got here? Because he ran out of bats in his own cave, so he had to outsource and get some from the wet market. Or no, Alfred has to go and do it.
Where is he?
Alfred.
Sir, Where is who? The bats I ordered. There are no more bats. I have to go to Wuhan.
Oh man, and there could be a new villain, the pangolin. Let's write this.
I'm into it.
Other villains like Mandolin and all these weird definitely super Asian stereotype things.
Yeah.
You can
and you could introduce Fauci.
Hello, I am DeWalk.
Fauci is like the Jim Gordon.
No, Fauci would be like Mayor.
Oh yeah. Don. The fuck is his name? It's in that trailer all over the place. Don something, but
yeah, but he would be like the mayor.
Yeah.
And then Commissioner Gordon or whatever would be like
Aubrey James.
Commissioner Gordon would. Commissioner Gordon would be like Dave Portnoy.
The Barstool guy?
Yeah. Because he tells people to wear masks, but he also is gruff and whatever.
Yeah. That's funny.
Or no. It wouldn't be Dave Portnoy. It'd be Tim Dillon.
He keeps saying outlandish shit, and Batman's like, Tim, back on track.
Okay.
That's a really funny.
That is funny. I like it. So this actually kind of sort of ties into my premise, my test that prem for the week. Do you want to jump into that?
Let's do it.
Okay. It is 8:30.
We got to make a jingle, by the way. You want to help me make a jingle for Test That Prem?
Sure.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
It's Pikachu!
It's the very
I think reboots are the reason that Donald Trump is president.
Okay.
Because Hollywood ran out of ideas. And so they were just like, what if we did Hawaii 5-0 again? And everyone was like, yay, Hawaii 5-0. And then they brought back, I mean, they're in the process of bringing back The West Wing.
Really?
Yes. It's
Please
ridiculous.
say that's
They're
like a joke.
No, it's real.
Okay.
They're remaking or doing a reboot, not remaking, doing a reboot of The Mighty Ducks.
Okay, I'm on board.
I love The Mighty Ducks. Greatest movies ever. They're making a show. That doesn't work for me.
That's so weird because I actually have in my notes how there should be a prequel television show.
It's not a prequel. It's a postquel.
I understand. I'm
and
just
Gordon
saying.
Bombay apparently plays you remember when in the first movie the Hawks, the coach of the Hawks is dynasty guy, total dickhead. That's apparently the role that Bombay is playing in this new version. So the Ducks are the dickheads.
Nice. It's like, oh, this is like Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. So anyway, so there's that, right?
Okay.
They've inspired people to look back at how great things once were.
Oh my God.
And so all these people are like, remember when blacks didn't have rights?
TV gold. Whew.
So that's why the
idea is fantastic.
Yeah. And obviously, disclaimer, I don't think everyone who voted for Donald Trump thinks blacks shouldn't have rights.
They just think they shouldn't have gun rights for some reason.
But I do think that nostalgia is why there's a 74-year-old lunatic in the White House.
That's really that's really good.
I think they did on South Park.
Did they really?
Yeah, the member berries.
I've never seen an episode of South Park.
Look
in
at it.
my life.
Well,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shit on you, but
No, you're good. You're good.
I think that's what that.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
That's what the premise is?
Yeah, it's just it's hard to describe because it's literally like these little berries that say, I remember this. Yeah. And it's around the election time, and Garrison is Donald Trump, and
I'll have to check it out.
I know. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Is it Mr. Garrison or Mrs. Garrison?
detransitioned at some point in the show.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
They're like, hey, how can we shit on trans people again? And they're like, well, let's do this arc, and that'll do it.
See, I'm trying to figure out which one I want to go over. I'll do this one. Since we talked about rollerblading last week, it reminded me of a story. I was skating at the skate park, or the St. Cloud Skate Plaza. And I'd been skating with this skateboarder for like hours. We were going like trick for trick on stuff. And it wasn't until I got to my car that he was like, holy shit, you've been rollerblading this whole time? Like somehow it didn't connect with him. And so like we're talking and I go to sit on my car to take my skates off. And he's like, whoa, you're a rollerblader? You know what they say the hardest part about rollerblading is telling your parents you're gay. And I had heard it so many times that I was just super done, super over it. And so I go, actually, I didn't take my skates off. I kept my skates on. No, actually, the hardest part about rollerblading is pulling my dick out of my boyfriend's ass and putting my skates on. And I was slowly wheeling towards him as I was saying this. He's like, and then ran away. It's like, what the fuck do you think this is, guy? You gonna call me gay and then not expect some gay shit to come your way?
Right, yeah.
I hate that stuff.
I had my fucking moment where we talked about this. This was one of my other premises. He's like...
But it's one of those stories. It's a story that, like, I don't know... Because I want to display to the crowd, like, who here skateboards, right? Do that thing, and then go, who here has heard the old adage about rollerblading? And then someone...
I don't know that adage, so maybe there's a different way to go.
You've never heard that?
No.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that... Because if you ask two questions like that, one, you're relying very heavily on the fact that everyone claps when you say, who here skateboards, or a significant portion of the crowd.
Yeah.
Then you're requiring that portion of the crowd to also have heard that adage and make up for the fact that other people won't have heard that adage in order for the rest of the joke or the story to go well. So maybe what you do is you approach it from the side of like, people say this about about rollerblading.
Yeah.
Don't use the adage, but people say, that rollerblading is like...
Do you know where that... what is it? Tiny Giants?
Little Giants.
Little Giants.
Oh.
That's where it came from. There was a sketch where Aziz Ansari wants to rollerblade.
Wait, Little Giants?
Sorry, I'm going 90s football film.
Oh, no. So, is it They Might Be Giants? I forget. Aziz Ansari and these two other cats had a sketch show. And one of the sketches was somebody says the hardest part about rollerblading is telling your parents that you're gay. And when Aziz buys these rollerblades, he has to sign a contract that he's going to go and tell his parents that he's gay. And so he gets the rollerblades, goes to his parents, and he's like, I guess I'm gay now. I just wanted to rollerblade. And that's like the whole... So for a solid decade, that was the joke that got told over and over and over again.
Human giant.
Human giant.
I've never heard that before.
All you have to do is strap on a pair of rollerblades and skate around, and someone will call you the F word out of their car.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I've rollerbladed a lot. That's never happened to me. But I also wear hockey rollerblades, so maybe that's the kicker.
Maybe. Who knows? If you do it at a skate park, though.
Okay. So it's niche. Like that particular part is very niche.
Yeah.
But the story itself is good. Like, not good. It can be made into very funny.
Yeah.
For sure. You just got to flush out the like.
So I would say for those of you who don't know, I used to skate. Not that kind of skate. Aggressive inline.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
play up on all the funny things about it.
Right.
And then
Right. And so
I gotcha.
Because it kind of goes in line with and you can take this premise that I have not yet been able to do on stage because of everything that's going on. You can use this premise. You're welcome to use it if you want to play into this whole thing where we've talked about, like, why is it that bro dude guys are the guys who are like will use the F word like that
Mm-hmm.
are the same guys that'll like walk into a room with all their best friends and be like, "Who wants to get their fucking dick sucked?
Oh yeah.
Daddy's home." You know? You're like,
Yeah.
what? You just call the guy the F word for rollerblading, and now you're offering to fucking
Give out hand jobs.
yeah. Now you're offering to rub out your best buddy before you go to the bar, so he doesn't walk around with a boner when the hot chicks show up.
Yeah, I've actually told I've told a bunch of people about that because it comes up all the time.
It fucking came up to me yesterday. Literally, I was golfing with people and somebody said something about this like super bro-y guy that they golf with that will say like they had to literally like tell him like, "Hey man, you can't fucking say that word anymore," about the F word.
Yeah,
and then they were like, and he's also like the same guy. Like, he'll always be like, "You guys want to fuck?" You know? And I'm like, that happens all the time. It's not even pent up like hiding their homosexuality. It's literally they just like think it's funny to offer to suck people off.
Yeah,
and you're like, it's funny if I do it because I don't say the F word all the time. I'm not simultaneously condescending people that do that for pleasure or to pleasure their partner.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know what I mean? I don't know. I like you doing more story stuff.
Yeah.
Because you're a good storyteller. But you also have such unique to you, but universally true, like messages in your stories. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My turning point for like when I stopped like being, because I obviously I used like doing gay shit to people as like a punchline because I knew it made them feel uncomfortable.
Yep.
Friend of mine, shout out to Bryden Giving. He's an amazing human being. We're friends, and he saw me doing like playful gay shit to other people, right, on Facebook, making all these jokes. He tries to throw in a joke, and I message him and I go, "Hey man, just so you know, like, I would do this if a girl was saying this stuff to me because I'm with Kim," and like did this weird like automatically because he's gay. When he does it, there's some kind of intent behind it.
Right.
So he was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? You guys were doing this stuff to each other. I just am. You got to remember that I'm one of the guys."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh fuck, dude."
Yeah, me doing that stuff on the side doesn't negate the fact that I'm one of the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn it. It was like a big turning point for me to be like, I'm still, even though I'm like huge gay rights, I'm still using it as God, what's the fucking word? Exoticizing almost.
Wow.
Because
vocab king over here. Sheesh.
Well, I learned that from you. You taught me the word. You don't remember?
No. I don't remember when I use amazing language, Chris.
Oh, okay.
It's all part of my lexicon. Whoops.
But yeah. Anyways, that was my little point that I wanted
I like
to
it. I think like I said, I think there's opportunity for you to flush out like what makes it funny before the funny happens. You know what I mean? Because people are dumb as hell, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean almost everyone.
Like, remember when dudes were all wearing pink polos?
Yeah. Remember when they were all from Connecticut for some reason?
Fuck Connecticut. I'll say it once, twice, forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean well, there's the like it goes like hand in hand with like, was that guy wearing puka shells? You know?
Yeah.
Because like if you're gonna call someone gay, you know, can't be wearing puka shells.
Yeah, you can't hop in your Nissan and blare Ace of Base running away from me.
Hey man, Technotronic doesn't exonerate you here.
Quit hiding from your feelings, Trevor!
What train are you going to ride, man? Come on, ride the train.
Oh, that's a good jam.
Come ride it.
That is a good jam.
That was the intro I used one time for Petra's Picks.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I love that fucking song.
What a selection.
Oh wait.
Oh,
Did you have a premise?
Oh shit.
Yeah, I can go over.
Let it rip.
Actually, it's based off of one you made a couple of weeks ago about liking Pokemon when maybe it was a little too far along.
Yeah.
And it made me think about that awkward transition. Like, no one tells you to stop watching Nickelodeon, but you're supposed to kind of figure it out. Like, I shouldn't.
Oh, I don't want Beyblades anymore.
Yeah, and you don't really know when that is, and it's weird.
Yeah.
And I just imagine like a teenager or tween or whatever the hell it's called. They go into their room, they close the door. Doesn't have a lock though. They just kind of close the door. They turn on the TV, they turn the volume down real low, and they put on Rugrats. And they're just watching Rugrats, and they're just chill. They got closed captioning on. And then like one of the parents comes up and knocks on the door, like, hey, what's going on? Like, why is your door closed? And they're like scrambling for the remote. They're like panicked. And they change it, and then they crank the volume, and then the parent comes in and like, what's going on? They're like, nothing, I'm just watching scrambled porn and masturbating.
That's when you know you're too old. That's good. I like that. That's a sort of similar real life thing happened. Guy I went to high school with, huge stoner. Literally, like every year for Halloween at school, he would put a cooking pot on his head. And that was all he did for his costume. He'd just walk around, and the teachers would be like, "What are you, Johnny Appleseed?" And he's like, "I'm a pothead." Anyway, so he was like at home listening to like The Carter 2 or something, you know. And his dad like came in to like, it was like his moment knowing like, God, I can't like wait. I'm too old to live at my parents' house, even though he's like in high school. His dad like came into his room and he was like smoking a joint in his room, and his dad was like, "Kevin, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Dad, get out! I'm smoking weed in here." His dad left. His dad was like, "Okay." And that was like, he was like, "Yeah, I gotta get out." Like, they don't give a fuck anymore.
I like that idea, though.
That is a great
premise. Yeah. And then the mom to be like, "Oh,
yeah, really, yeah."
That's like
because you're flipping the situation. Because normally the situation is you're trying to get it off the scrambled porn.
There's a sketch in there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, because that one visually, almost I feel like hits harder. Because like,
could you imagine? Let's play it out, right? So it's you. You are the one that's watching Rugrats.
Yeah.
And Royal is your mother, and we have him like in a wig.
All you hear is like quiet.
It's so low. Yeah.
And then Royal.
Alex!
Oh, what's up, Mom?
What's on the TV?
Oh, boobs.
Oh, thank God. Frank, it's just boobs. And then Andy comes in. Tits, am I right?
Yeah. They're cool.
Make sure you clean up after yourself, am I right?
Yeah.
Is that Lisa Ann? And then he like sits down and is watching it with you. Oh, this is that one where she gets DP'd by Johnny Longfingers, and I used to masturbate to this when I was your age. Can't believe she's still doing it, huh? Well, I guess I'll leave you to it. And then he leaves, and then you go back to Rugrats.
And then I sit back. I sit back and like have my maybe I'm too old for this. Whatever. Tomorrow night. And then I switch back to Rugrats, and then you hear zzz, and then it's over. You would be fully responsible for the creative direction, by the way.
Yeah.
Like we would, like if we're actually going to do this sketch, you're going to have to be
your
there.
deadpan is like unrivaled.
I've always liked to do that. Like, and I apologize. Like on the first podcast, like I just met you and like starting the podcast, basically.
Right.
And I deadpanned, pretending I didn't know what the X-Files was.
Yeah. And I was like, "You guys, Chris, you ever watch the X-Files?"
Yeah, and
no. And then you were like, "Isn't that a math show?"
Yeah, because X being a variable in algebra.
Yeah. No, I gotcha.
Because I even wrote a show note. I was gonna like read off the next week, but I didn't do it. But it said, let me see. Let me bring it up here. Show note. I just want to apologize for pretending to not know about the cultural phenomenon starring Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny called The X-Files. I just want to say the truth is out there. And we can play that.
Well done. See, like that, I know you deadpanned me about that, but like your response to it almost hurts more. It's so good.
Because I was at one of my favorite moments at work was I convinced every one of my coworkers, like one by one, that I didn't know who Chuck Norris was. Like, because they kept bringing in people like to explain that to them. They're like, does not know who Chuck Norris is. And they were just like incredulous. And they'd bring in someone else. And then I'd be like, yeah, I don't know who. And they'd try to make a reference. And I'm like, are you talking about The Rock? Like Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Like, because I know who that is.
That's so funny.
And that was like one of my favorite. And then I just try to do it until like I can't anymore. And
So
sometimes that's forever.
And did you end it by being like, guys, I found out who Chuck Norris is? And they're like, holy shit, how? And you were like, he's the Bowflex guy, right? Or was it the Ab Lounge? Which one was his? I feel like all of them were. They're like, no. I mean, yeah, but no.
Exactly.
Yeah. Same time next week?
Dude, absolutely. Dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, absolutely.